Okay, did you get tricked by Trump this morning? Because I did. He tricked me with the NFT thing. I thought that was his major announcement. Trump trolled us. The real announcement was the digital Bill of Rights, and this is something that he's done before. He's tricked us before, but a lot of people got tricked on the left and the right, and so we have some of the clear evidence, I guess you could say, that he tricked us. It was a great way, a great PR stunt to get everyone's attention and talking about it. But yeah, he tricked us on the NFT thing. What did you think?
So I don't even know what an NFT is, but apparently it's this like subculture of people who buy digital trading cards.
Yeah.
And they're worth a lot of money. There's like digital trading cards that are worth $2,000. I don't know. We're weird.
Which is dumb.
Humans are weird.
Yeah, it's
but there
totally
is
dumb.
like I'm sure there's people that are into it.
There's people who do it.
And there really is Trump NFTs now.
Oh yeah,
you can go on the website. It's kind of funny. But we also need to remember he's not backed by the Republican Party.
Yeah.
So he has to raise funds for his running and everything on his own, and this is a good way to raise funds. There is people that are into this stuff.
He is going to actually sell these, but that was not the major announcement. It was a troll. But yeah, those were a thing like 6 months ago or something. And then people are not as into him as they were, and so when a lot of people heard that this morning that this was the announcement, they were disappointed. Like, this looks silly.
Not just disappointed. They were just like, he's a psychopath. He's full of himself. He's egomaniac.
And people will get mad at like Trump supporters like us and be like, hey, you gotta criticize the man when he does something wrong. And I criticized him this morning, like, hey, this is silly. If this is your announcement, this looks bad.
See, when I saw it, this can't be his major announcement.
Yeah, okay,
because
you were right.
There was sarcasm in the video.
What? Like, see, I didn't watch it.
Yeah. You didn't watch the video?
No, it was too much. I was like, this is too depressing.
He's like, I'm your favorite president, better than Lincoln, better than Washington. So get these Trump's a superhero cards. And it's like...
So he was trolling in the video, too.
Yeah, exactly. It's silly. Like, he's making fun of the caricature of Trump. And we have to remember, this guy is not a dum-dum. People want to act like he's a dumb guy.
Okay.
He's actually... His sense of humor goes over some people's heads.
It goes over their head.
Yeah.
And there's some people who are going to refuse to admit that this was a troll because they got tricked and they don't want to admit it.
Oh, and then all the like bandwagon Trump haters right now, all the influencers are just we're having a heyday over this. Like, see, this is why we can't support the guy anymore. Yeah. This is why DeSantis 2024, he just locked it in, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And it's just like, they were just jumping on this like white on rice.
Yeah, so... Let's get into this because there's going to be some people you guys will see who will say, "Nuh-uh, the real announcement
that was his announcement
was the NFTs, and you guys are just in denial." No, guys, you got tricked.
Yeah, this is how Trump worked when he was 4 years as president.
Yeah, he's done this multiple times. Okay, so let me give you guys a couple examples. And okay, here's a Vox article. If you remember in 2016. There was a, back up to the historical examples, just to prove that this is what happened today. He had an exclusive video prepared that was like, this is my policy speech on social media. It's a digital Bill of Rights. He had talking points with graphics all prepared. It was the immediate thing that he that's what it's called on Truth Social instead of tweeted. He posted this on True Social immediately after the NFT thing, and the guy he gave the exclusive to on it, Jack Posobiec, is saying, "Look, you guys got tricked. Here's the exclusive. Here's the video. This is, are you guys going to admit that you got tricked?" And so it's pretty clear this was the major announcement is the digital Bill of Rights.
I wouldn't say tricked, it's trolled.
He
trolled.
Well, I mean, I was tricked. I was like, what is this? Trump, what are you doing with these NFTs? But it got everyone to talk about it. That's the point. And that's what he does. He does this multiple times. So if you don't want to admit that he trolled us, you need to go look at what Jack Posobiec has been saying, because he had the exclusive on it and he's making it clear. Yeah, this was a whole media stunt. It was a stunt. Okay, so he's done this in the past. In 2016, when he was running against Hillary, there was a debate. You remember the debate where they were like, will you accept the results of the election if you lose? That was Chris Wallace from Fox News, total rhino, whatever. And notice they didn't ask Hillary that, blah, blah, blah. We remember the bias. Trump refused to go along with that, rightly. It would have killed his momentum. So he made an announcement, or he leaked that there was going to be an announcement because he was taking all this heat. He won't accept the results of the election, and this is a threat to democracy, blah, blah, blah. And there was all this controversy. And so he leaked that he's going to say that he'll accept the result at his next speech. So all the media, which by this time had stopped covering his speeches, do you remember that? They just wouldn't cover him anymore because he was getting too close to winning. And so he told them, I'm going to announce that I'll accept the results of the election. And then at the speech, instead of doing that, he said, I'll accept the results if I win. He tricked them. Mm-hmm. And then he did it again when, let's see, he did it again when he, where's this article? He tricked the media when he said about the birther thing with Obama and Hillary. Because that was a big scandal as well in 2016 in September. And there was even media articles. You can look this up. I'll post it. I'll post screenshots of it where the media was mad they got tricked into covering his event. He would say, I'm going to make an announcement about one thing, the birther thing, maybe admit that he was wrong about the Obama birther thing. And then when the media showed up, he just did a campaign speech for himself and got the free publicity.
Yeah, because I remember during that time, it was a miracle if they would ever cover a Trump speech. Even Fox News.
Yeah.
Even Fox News would stop covering them. Or they would cover them for a second and then turn to the CNN commentator talking heads talking bad about him.
Yeah. They'll be like, we're cutting off of this speech because this is just
too many lies.
Yeah.
Too many lies. And I find it interesting now that during the 4 years of Trump, a lot of these influencers and talking heads and conservative YouTubers or whatever that are making a lot of money off of that, their whole platform was literally defending Trump because there were so many lies in the media about him. Mm-hmm. So we had to go on and basically, I wasn't doing it. I was working as a teacher and, doing my thing or whatever. But they had to get the record straight. Now these conservative influencers or whoever they are, political talking heads, now they're just parroting what the media is saying.
So when he would troll the media back in the day, they would come out and laugh at the media and say, haha, you got tricked. This was Trump's real message.
Yeah.
Now
they're like, see, no. Trump's crazy. He's gone crazy.
Yeah, they're ignoring his real message and instead going, oh, the NFT thing was so dumb. But some of them are admitting it. So like the Daily Wire, for example, who was very happy, they're never Trumpers. They were very happy to report and mock Trump. Yeah. Go on their Twitter feed.
Oh, this is his major announcement.
Yeah. They mocked him with a few memes. But even they admitted this was the real announcement. Yeah. So guys, there's people out there who are saying, no, this is not his real announcement. Even the Daily Wire is admitting it, guys.
Yeah, if your favorite influencer isn't backtracking on their making fun of Trump on this, they're just either foolish.
They don't want to admit
it. They don't remember how Trump works.
Yeah.
Or they just don't want to admit it and they just love this idea of hating on Trump now, just like CNN.
Yeah. So and what else is funny, and this is another thing that's interesting. I don't know if Trump actually thought it through this much, if he's playing this much 4D chess. I don't know, because some of that, you can get too deep into it. But people are mocking him for the NFT thing. And apparently DeSantis had baseball trading cards that he put out a while ago. And so now people are remembering that and highlighting that. I have a thing. There's one, I forget how much they cost. It was like $2,600 or something. But he put out baseball cards of himself. And so people are like, wait, so you're DeSantis 2024 now because of the NFT thing? But when DeSantis did it with baseball cards, you didn't care, right? So it's kind of like, was Trump going that deep and exposing Ron on this as well? I don't know. Maybe. If he did, that's some 4D chess. I have to
look into that.
Exactly. And so this is what this kind of thing does, where it draws attention to and makes a discussion that we weren't having.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at so there's people talking bad about what just happened with Trump and the video, which is obviously he's being sarcastic in it. It's pretty clear in it. But it's funny to see the left and all of like the right bandwagoners who hate Trump now just saying the same things in the comments.
Yep.
Like they're literally parroting each other. So, you know, it's I never wanted to be someone to unite with those people. But if you guys want to unite with those people on your Trump hate, by all means have fun, but I'm not going to join you because those people are insane. And their Trump hate is irrational.
Yeah.
And if you want to get onto that irrational Trump hate with them, sayonara, have fun. I'm not going to join you.
Yeah, I'm not into the Orange Man Bad stuff. I'm
Yeah.
not into, if you were Jeb.
He said a nickname.
I know.
Yeah.
If you were Jeb and Cruz in 2016 and now you're on Ron's side and you're repeating the same stuff that all the Never Trumpers do, might be time to check yourself.
Yeah.
Because you probably just don't like the guy.
And the thing is, and this is something that people forget, it's not because we're in a cult. It's not because we were, which
I criticized Trump this morning.
If you're repeating that,
I got tricked.
If you're on the right and you're repeating that now for the people that are still supporting Trump, you're calling us Trump cult. Like, again, you've joined along with the TDSs.
That's
all
what
the Trump
CNN used to
deranging
say.
syndrome people.
Yeah.
Secondly, we like his policy. And we
Yes.
know that his policies work.
Yeah.
We saw them work for 4 years. We haven't seen anything like that in my lifetime. I haven't seen anything like that in my
From any
lifetime.
president.
I haven't seen a president not engage in more wars. I haven't seen a president who had really great economic policies like tariffs.
Bring the jobs back.
Yes. And so that's why I'm still standing by the guy. And it's not because of worship or whatever. And the fact that we even have to say this, because then there's the other element that we can't even talk about, which if your favorite conservative influencer right now is spending more time on this NFT Trump announcement, which is actually pretty hilarious, than the Twitter files,
Yes. Yes.
you need to be trusting their judgment or whether or not they have been bought and paid for right now.
Yeah, so that was one thing that I noticed, and I criticized a few of the conservative Inc. is what they call them. You know, when the Twitter files dropped a few days ago about how Trump got banned, you'll notice that certain people just didn't tweet about it. I mean, maybe they mentioned it here and there on their shows and stuff but everybody, all the people who were not Never Trumpers, all the conservative pundits were live tweeting this stuff because it was major dropping news. But certain people wouldn't, you know, your Ben Shapiro types. Unfortunately, Candace didn't tweet about it. There was a lot of people who just didn't touch it or barely touched it at all.
Not touching a story of the FBI and the Biden administration colluding with Twitter to silence the American people that are speaking against Biden
president
and a sitting president and come up with a new policy to get him banned.
Yeah, if you're not tweeting about that live when it's happening and your job is to be a conservative pundit, that's fishy. But you'll notice some of these same people, Ben Shapiro and Daily Wire, whatever, they were quick this morning to tweet about this NFT.
Oh yeah,
stuff.
they had fun. They had a heyday.
Oh, they were just
tweeting multiple times.
Oh, Trump is done. This is an embarrassment, blah, blah, blah. And he got all their attention. And basically, this is what Trump does. He gets you to, you know, pull your pants down and show your butt and show you who you really are. He pants them.
I don't want to see any.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, he tricked them into, like, they had to react to this. They were dancing on his grave. And then minutes later, he makes his real announcement. And they're like,
So you wanted to share one more time. We should wrap this up. You wanted to share one more time about how he did this with. You had one more example you shared with me. The CNN.
Well, he did. Oh yeah, he did it with the all accept the results of the election if I win. He did it that time. He did it on the birther thing, and he did it when it was like. Yeah. Now I remember. I'm gonna have to look at the article, and I'll put screenshots of these into the video. I'll add them on later. But it was an announcement on. I think it was on amnesty for illegal immigrants because remember in 2016 he was hitting hard on this stuff, and so there was he leaks to the media what he's going to talk about. And they take the bait, and they all set up with their cameras. They had stopped covering his speeches,
CNN.
So this is how he had to trick them to cover his speeches. And then, instead of announcing, I think it was about the Dreamers or something like that, he showed up with a bunch of the victims of crimes that illegal immigrants had done, the family members of the victims. and had them speak. And he did it. It was like 10 minutes before they caught on to what he was doing, and then they cut the feed.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
This is what he does.
He had to trick the media.
He tricked them.
But this to cover the stories of families of people that have been killed by illegal immigrants.
This time he's tricking conservatives as well. People on the right,
they want to be
never
tricked.
Trumpers, and they're refusing to admit that they got tricked.
They've just joined along with the TDS leftists.
Yeah.
They really have, and it's sad to see. And what makes me so sad is the people that are just following them and have learned to trust their voice for the past 6 years or whatever, and now they're just going to keep following along with their voice now. And we have to remember that 6 years ago, these people were different. A lot of them were different because they weren't getting paid millions for what they were doing. They were just posting on YouTube, sharing their opinion, and they weren't bought yet. And to think that people can't be corrupted by money is very naive. Yeah, it happens all the time. That's part of the reason why I like Trump, because he had so much money already. And it's like, okay, the dude's already a billionaire. Like, I mean, he really can't be bought. He's already made his billions and is actually losing money as president and did not even take a salary when he was president. He donated it. So that's where that's one thing I really liked about him, amongst other things, his policies mainly. But like the fact that you've seen a lot of these conservative influencers become very wealthy from their opinion. And I'm not trying to, I guess I am throwing shade at them, but we have to be very careful about just following people without knowing that maybe behind the scenes there is an agenda. Maybe they're being paid by this team or that team to push some sort of message. That happens all the time.
Well, they're not billionaires like Trump. And the reality is these people, a lot of them have gone from, kind of middle of the road influencers or not influencers at all before Trump to now they've got a platform. Now they're getting money. And if you're not a billionaire and you got some money coming at you, now you can, you can get influenced. And on top of that, I think people back in the day these influencers knew that you better not speak against Trump because his base is on his side. And now I think some of them are more comfortable. They have a little following. Yeah. And they're getting a little big for their own britches.
Isn't that a little fishy that like they're all saying, we're not allowed to criticize Trump. We're not allowed to wait a second. So for 6 years, you guys didn't criticize him like this? I mean, it's okay to call out things that you don't agree with him on or you think was a bad call. I think that's fine, but acting like the left and acting like CNN is different. And that's what these people are doing now. Yes. And it's all of a sudden like they've had permission to just do it because they won't lose their followers. So how disingenuous...
They think they won't.
Yeah, how disingenuous is that? Yeah. Where they kept this opinion, this like boiling up Trump hate inside because they didn't want to lose you as a follower. And so now they feel like they can do it because all of them are doing it together collectively.
It's a bandwagon.
And we have this other shiny DeSantis, who I call Mr. Rogers, by the way. They now have Mr. Rogers, who's like looking so shiny over here, and he's gonna have all of these people back him, the Rhinos and the Lincoln Project people backing him and saying, "Oh, this is the new direction" or whatever. And they're feeling permission to be able to just go off.
So they're showing their true colors.
They're showing their true colors, and we saw that today with this announcement.
Which again, and we'll end this, but when I thought the NFT thing was the announcement, I criticized Trump. I didn't jump off the bandwagon. I didn't say forget him. I still said his policies are better on trade and foreign wars. This was a bad PR move. What is he doing with these NFTs? But I didn't just ditch him. Watch the people who were like, oh, this was their excuse to ditch him. And they were dancing on his grave on Twitter. Watch those people. And they're refusing to admit they got tricked. I got tricked. I'll admit it. I was like, that was a bad PR move. I criticized him. I'm not in a cult. I can criticize him, right? And then when I realized that I got tricked, I was like, oh, okay.
Trolled.
He trolled me. He tricked me. And you know what? And we're all talking about it. And that was the point. It was a classic Trump is good policy, because that's what the Digital Bill of Rights is. Good policy, whether you like him or not, he's got good policy, and he packages it in a funny, clever PR move type of way. That is classic Trump. He's back. I think that's probably a good place to end it, huh?